are the group.
11, 12, 13, and 14.
In this video, we are going to perform the different types of operation and propositions.
Hello everyone, so ang problem natin ngayon is a simple proposition. For a simple proposition, P, the number of possible truth values is 2. Then the truth values is for proposition P is true and false. Simple proposition P, T, F.
Compound proposition. Suppose P and Q are proposition. Truth table, proposition P is which is true and Q is can be true or false. Then if the proposition P is false, then proposition Q it can be true or false. Similarly, suppose P, Q, and R are proposition. Since there are two possible outcomes, which is true or false, and there are three propositions here, which is P, Q, and R. So therefore, 2Q equal 8 rows. So in the table, we have 8 rows. This 8 rows. If proposition P, there is true and the Q have true, so also R can be true or false. If P is true and for this time Q is false, so therefore R is true or false.
So let's proceed to the logical operators. The truth table is used to define logical operators. It is used to exhibit the relationship between the truth values of its simple components and the compound proposition itself. Negation. The negation of a proposition P is denoted by not, P, or N hyphen. Negation definition. It is being defined through its truth tables. As if proposition P is true, so therefore not P is false. If the proposition P is false, therefore not P is true. So that is the negation. Negation example. So we have already a given example of negation. 2 is an odd number. So what is not negation of this? Not and 2 is not an odd number. So another. Not and it is not true that 2 is an odd number. 3. And the next. Not and it is not the case that 2 is an odd number. The last is not and 2 is an even number. The next proposition is CC and H is the biggest high school in Cotabato City. So the not negation of this is CC and H as is not the biggest high school in Cotabato City. Number 3. I represent an imaginary number. So what is not and 3 of this? Not and 3, I does not represent an imaginary number. 4. Not 4. The tinikling is the most difficult dance. So the not and of this is not and 4. The tinikling is not the most difficult dance, which is true. The last is everyone in Visayas speak Cebuano. Not and negation of this is not everyone in Visayas speak in Cebuano. That's all in logical operators. I hope you understand.
Another types of operation, we have conjunction. The conjunction P and Q is denoted by P with the symbol widget and Q which is read as P and Q and is defined through its truth table. Conjunction truth table. We have 4 propositions, P and Q. If proposition P is true and Q is true, so P and Q is also true. If P is true and Q is false, therefore P and Q is also false. If proposition P is false and Q is true, P and Q is false. So, if proposition P is false and Q is false, therefore P and Q is also false. There is an example of conjunction. The conjunction P and Q is denoted by, let P and Q be the following proposition. P, angels exist. Q, angels can fly. So we're going to express the following conjunction as English sentence or in symbols as the case may be. So we have the symbol P widget Q. Since P angels exist and Q angels can fly, so therefore P and Q is angels exist and they can fly. Number 2, P and Q. P widget Q, not P widget not Q is angels exist but they cannot fly. So we're going to express into symbols so given for this type is sentence. Number 3, angels do not exist and can fly. Angels do not exist is the negation of P and can fly is also negation of Q. So therefore, in simple, this is not P and not Q. Note, conjunction do not always use the word and. Words like but, even, though, yet, and while can also be used. Examples. Number 1, Carlo is competitive and hardworking. Number 2, Carlo is competitive but hardworking. Number 3, Carlo is competitive yet hardworking. Number 4, although Carlo is competitive, he is hardworking. So, therefore, we can use the word but, yet, although, or true, while, even, aside from is as conjunction. Number 5, while Carlo is competitive, he is hardworking. So, disjunction. The disjunction of proposition P and Q is denoted by P with the symbol V, which V means or, so we can read this as P, V, Q, or P or Q. Truth table of disjunction. So, the disjunction P, V, Q is false only if the both are false. So, there is an example of disjunction. Let P and Q be the following propositions. P, Vic has a date with Lisa. Q, January is sleeping. And R, Yumir is eating. Number 1, P, V, or P or Q. P has a date with Lisa. And Q is January is sleeping. So, therefore, P and Q in sentence, Vic has a date with Lisa and January is sleeping. Number 2, Q, V, not R, Q is January is sleeping and R is Yumer is eating. So, what is negation for Yumer's eating or what is not R? So, therefore, for number 2, Q or not R or QV not R. In sentence is either January is sleeping or Yumer is not eating. Number 3, PV or QVR. So, in sentence, this is either Vic has a date with Lisa, which is for P, or January is sleeping, which is for Q, Yumir is eating, which is for R.
Conditional. The conditional proposition is a P and Q is denoted by P with the right arrow Q. If P then Q, symbol P implies if P then Q. So we have here the truth table. The table of conditional statement is as follows. So P implies is being read as a implies Q. So P is a hypothesis and Q is a conclusion.
An example, the conditional of proposition P and Q is denoted by P implies Q. If P then Q. Example, consider Mark is a G11 student. Consider the following conditions. P1, if Mark is in G11, then he is a senior high school student. P2, if Mark is in G11, then he is working as a lawyer. P3, if Mark has a degree in computer science, then he believes in true love. Conditional solution. If Mark is in G11, then he is a senior high school student. Therefore, it's true. If Mark is in G11, then he is working as a lawyer. Therefore, it's false. If Mark has a degree in computer science, then he believes in true love. Therefore, it's true.
By conditional proposition, P and Q is denoted by P with left and right arrow. So, by conditional is defined through its table. It may also be written as P if Q. P and Q are called the components. The truth one is true when both components are the same.
Good afternoon everyone. So, ang problem natin dito is biconditional solution. P1 Mark is in grade 11 if he is a senior high school student, quantity is true. P2 Mark is in grade 11 if and only if he is working as a lawyer, quantity false. P3 Mark has a degree in computer science if and only if he believes in true love, quantity F or D. The resolution natin is, the resolution can be false or true depends on the answer of he believes in true love. Logical operator, to summarize the logical operators, let P and Q be arbitrary proposition. That's all, thank you. So this example, type is conjunction. A logical operator is AND. Symbolic form is P and Q. Read as P and Q. So another type is disjunction or P or Q. P or Q is read. So third type of is conditional. Logical operator is if then. Symbolic form is P and then. Read as is if P then Q. So type is B conditional if and only if. Symbolic form is P and only if. Read as P if and only if Q. The last one is type is negation. Logical operator is not. Symbolic form is not P. Read as not P.
Propositions. Number 1. I will go to the party if and only if my parents will allow me to go. The type of proposition is the conditional in symbol of P if and only if Q. Number 2. If one person reuse plastic containers, then he or she helps listen with it. Then the type of proposition is conditional in symbol of P, the right arrow in Q. Number 3. If you are not pro senior high school, then are not here. Then the type of proposition is contrapositive. In symbol is not P, the right arrow is not Q. Number 4. Either Plato is a philosopher or Einstein is a scientist. Then type of proposition is disjunction in symbols P or Q. Number 5. Mathematics is not the most difficult subject. Then type of proposition is negation and symbol is not P.